and welcome to the latest installment of my build of Dragon's M3A1 half track in 1/35th scale. Now in this video we're going to be concentrating on some of the super detailing I've been doing on the parts and also starting work on the cab as well. So if you want to grab yourself a brew, let's go do some modelling. Now this video is going to concentrate on section 7 of the instructions. Here we have the machine guns, the rifles, the jerry cans and the dashboard. What I want to do is just to bring these to life, put a bit more detail on through my own scratch work, as well as using the Voyager PE kit. So first off, looking at the machine gun, this is the kit part that nicely detailed from Dragon. But as you can see with the handle from the Voyager set and the handles from the Dragon set, you can add a nice little bit of detailing there on the rear end of the gun. Also on the barrel, we have the brass handle and also the sights at the top of the machine gun, all coming from the Voyager set. Now, this one here is the actual kit offering. So if you decide not to do any detailing at all, this is what you can get from Dragon itself. And no issues with it at all. It's beautifully detailed. I'm really impressed with how that looks. This is the one that I've detailed up myself. As you can see, the PE work there, and also I've added a machine done bullets in the canister on the side. Just a little bit of scratch work there, and also some PE bullet belt that was in the Voyager set as well. And I was really pleased with how that turned out, and that will be the main frontal gun on the half track. You can swap some of these things out for the PE set, but like I said, I was quite happy with the detailing, so I kept it with the plastic. However, with the final machine gun, I decided to go to town and use the PE set for the mount. Very delicate. Also, you needed to use some 5mm styrene rod for the separators. The ammo bin, that's still got to be made. But the actual ammo can itself is from the kit. Nicely detailed, very impressed, and really pleased with how that all turned out, if a little bit fiddly at the time. And there we go again, that's the comparison with the kit offering if you want to stick with that. Here are some close-ups of the mounting. I think it was about 7 or 8 pieces altogether that made up the mounting, again along with the styrene rod. So the machine gun's done. I turn my attention to the rifles. For those of you who follow my work, you'll know that I've been very lazy with rifles lately, so I wanted to go to town with these. The Dragon ones are on the left, Tamiya in the middle, and Italeri on the right-hand side. And those are the ones that I decided to go with. I felt the detailing was a lot better on there. And what I've done is used some strap holders from the PE set by Arbor. And then I've used some pie tin foil, cut the strips down, and then literally threaded it through the strap holders and also through the buckle like you would needle through thread. So I was really pleased with how that came out. And if you're into your belts and scratch work, I strongly recommend you buy this Arbor set. It's superb. As far as the dashboard goes, I was really pleased with the kit offering. I think it's nicely detailed. I had no issues with it at all. Now you can, if you want to, do it with the PE set, but my past experience is that even though it's nicely detailed, I do find that the paints, the varnishes, manage to find their way through the joins and ruin the decal sheet in the middle anyway. So rather than go through all of that again, I decided to stick with the kit offering there. As for the jerry cans on the side, again, Dragon nicely molded, had no issues with them at all. Just needed a bit of cleaning up, some nasty seam lines going around the whole of the jerry can. but with sanding and a bit of filling, it was quite easy to get that sorted. And there we have the other one, because there's one on each side of the half track near the doors. Again, this is the PE offering. I'm not a great fan of bending PE. You need to have the correct arch and the correct diameters, etc. So I was quite happy just to stick with what I had with the Dragon set. But it's all there, especially if you want to have it have an open holder rather than the can itself. One thing I did do though, on the plastic kit, this is a solid piece of plastic. The triangle. So the triangle was cut off, hollowed out, and then I used the PE set to do the holder, because that looks a lot more realistic than what the kit offering was. And that for me is what PE Photo Etch is all about, adding quality to the build. If your plastic bits are all okay, then just use them. For example, here I've got a full set of flooring, Photo Etch flooring to put in here. What's the point? It looks perfectly okay as it is, and all of the damage that you do to the parts, scraping all of that off, just don't see the point. But again, if you have another kit that doesn't have that flooring, you can use the set within the Voyager kit. Now this is the handbrake. Very little detail I could add, so I just put the handbrake cable in using 0.5mm wire, bit of CA glue, used a spacer, and just let that dry overnight. And there we have, all nicely finished off. Very basic detailing, but certainly makes a difference. And these are all the levers in place now. They held up well. Again, lots of seam lines, lots of cleaning up, but strong plastic, so no danger of them snapping. Now, as far as the seats go, they need a bit of realism, because at the moment they just look like a couple of pieces of plastic with a few mold seams on them. So just to add a little bit of character, what you need to do is to actually cut off the top cushions, as you can see I've done here with your saw, and then sand that all down. And then it's just a matter of adding a bit of life to the plastic cushion, because the molding is good, it is realistic. So you just need to round those edges off using your sanding files and get that better looking seat, rounded edges rather than a rigid plastic looking seat. And then once that's done, I added a seat bottom with a piece of plasticard. And then obviously the driver and the passengers are jumping in and out all the time, so these seats aren't going to stay straight. So just put it at a little jointy angle, so you can see the one on the left, to me, looks a lot more realistic than the plastic offering on the right. And similarly, on the right hand side, I've rounded the edges rather than the square kit look on the left hand side. It's just simple little things you can do just to bring your model to life. And there we have the two seats now. To me personally, I think that looks a lot more realistic, and I was really pleased with how they turned out. As you can see there, I've put a little bit of nuts and strip work at the back there. There's a little PE set there for the pedals, which continually fall off, and also the fuel can or water can, whatever it is, in the cab there as well. Now, this particular part of the kit is very bland, but fortunately, Voyager offer you some interior mudguard sets. Now, because most of this is going to get covered in paint at the end, I didn't want to waste my time by putting my own rivets in. So it's just a matter of using your punch and giving it a little tap. On the reverse side, bear that in mind, the reverse side of the PE, so that when you turn it around, you get the raised detailing of the as if it had been riveted. It's not perfect, but like I say, it's going to be covered in mud anyway, so it's not a major issue. But I was pleased with how that turned out. And there we have that. As you can see, that blank piece of plastic has now got a bit of detail, a bit of depth, a bit of interest. One of the final areas within the cab was the plastic part, as you can see at the top in the middle. So it's a matter of stripping that all back, allowing you to add on the photo etch parts. Very small, very fiddly, easy to bend though, and it's just a matter of using your CA glue and getting it all put into place. So I was really pleased with how that turned out as well. As for the side box, again, there is a photo etch change out if you want to do that. But quite frankly, the plastic box was fine. It just was short of a few rivets, so I added that. Fire extinguisher, again, very small piece of detail, just drilling out the hose end. And again, it just makes that little bit of difference. So that's where we're at now. I'm currently working on the cab, getting some more detail put in. But I hope you've enjoyed this video, give you an idea of how you can add quality to your build. And it just leaves me to say thanks very much indeed for looking in. Massive thank you to all of my subscribers, and happy modelling.